So building on Unit 9 there, where we looked at this broader concept of marketing, the marketing concept and the broader implications of marketing, Unit 10 is going to really focus us down now and look at marketing as part of the strategic management process. Okay, so one of the most important ways in which marketing is deployed within organisations is through the development of strategy. Because whilst marketers like to say things like the customer is king, that everything we do is for customers and so on, the realities in most markets is that what firms are aiming to do is compete with other organisations that are trying to target similar customers. Okay, so actually, whilst customers are really, really important for marketing in terms of value creation, competitors are equally as important. And so what we need to do if we're going to deploy marketing and marketing strategy effectively is be able to analyse the competitive environment. Okay, and the marketing environment has got lots and lots of different elements in it which can actually come together in almost an infinite number of ways. One of the differences between marketing and other areas of business administration is that marketing is that outward facing part. It's the bit that connects the organisation and its internal processes to an external environment. So what are some of those external factors that we need to consider? Well, the first are political factors. Okay, here in the UK at the minute, you've probably seen on the news and so on, there's been a referendum on the UK's continuing membership of the European Union. Okay, whichever way you think that, whether or not you think that's a good or a bad thing, is not really the point. The point is that political decision is going to have tremendous economic and business impacts. Yeah, and many organisations here in the UK are really concerned, not because of the membership of the European Union as such, but about how this introduces instability into markets. And the other thing it does, it makes consumers more wary. Maybe it lowers consumer confidence. Yeah. So political factors, economic factors are also important. So whether or not an marketing environment is in a period of economic growth or whatever. There are all kinds of social aspects and cultural aspects that shape markets. And then there are things like technology, the legal environment, as well as environmental considerations. So marketing has to understand and almost bring in knowledge about all of those environmental conditions into the organisation so that it can respond to them. How does it do that? Well, it does it really through two things. The first thing it uses is market research. So it goes into the market and gathers intelligence. It gathers intelligence from consumers, and it also gathers information and intelligence about markets themselves. Are they growing? Are they, and if so, at what rate, how big they are, or whatever. And usually this type of thing is fed into what we now call a market information system. So market research isn't a one-off process, rather it's an ongoing process, if you like. The second thing is through marketing planning. And one of the things that we're going to show you how to do through Unit 9 and in the assignment that I'll come on to talk about later is we're going to ask you to prepare a marketing plan, yeah, and to have a look at all the different parts of the marketing planning process. And finally, what I'd like to do in Unit 10 is deal with issues of marketing metrics. Okay, now all areas of business performance, all areas of the organisation have to demonstrate that they are performing, okay, usually in accordance with key performance indicators. How do we measure marketing success? How do we measure whether or not marketing has been effectively used to deliver and create value? Well, on the one hand, we kind of think, well, that's simple. We look at sales or we look at profits or whatever. But actually, they're really, really poor indicators of understanding value creation. Why are marketing metrics important? Well, they're important for the long-term sustainability of the organisation, but they're absolutely vital for marketers as well. Okay, as one advertising cliche goes, I know only half of my advertising is effective. The problem is I don't know which half. Okay, in marketing we really struggle as an industry, as a field, to be able to justify often considerable marketing costs, and unless we can do that, marketing is really not going to be able to deliver value and play an active role in the organisation.